In this video, we won't talk about assists. Instead, we'll cover racing and car control techniques that apply not only to games, but to real life. So we'll assume no assists are being used since many cars have no assists like traction control and no car has assists like a grip aid. Stay tuned for these 4 tips on how to drive better, including a bonus tip for those who watch until the end. The first tip refers to vehicle braking. Everyone knows that before a corner, you have to slow down the car. For tighter turns, you need to brake a lot, while for open turns, you should brake less, or not even brake at all. Depending on how wide the turn is, just lift off the gas or keep the car accelerated if the car can take it. However, not everyone knows that braking should be done in a very specific way. It cannot be done on the curve itself, but only before the corner. See, the problem is that braking throws the weight of the whole car to the front. In straight braking, there is no problem. The weight of the car goes to the front wheels and this increases their grip, giving them greater braking power. The problem is when this is done while turning. At that moment, the balance is based on the grip of 2 wheels, the side ones. If braking occurs at this time, the weight of the car will likewise shift forward. However, since the weight of the car is shifted to the side, this weight transfer now combines with that of braking, and the weight shifts to only one of the 4 ends of the vehicle, leaving the other ends light and loose. Specifically, the opposite end, which is one of the rear wheels, and without grip at the rear, the car oversteers, i.e., the rear slides out mid-corner and the driver needs to be able to recover it, which is very difficult by itself and almost always results in a spin. Speaking of which, let's go to the next tip: exiting the corner. Like braking, acceleration must be done in a very specific way. After braking into a turn and going through at a controlled speed, acceleration at turn exits is always anticipated by drivers at all levels. In fact, the most experienced do not rush into this fundamental stage of vehicle control. Any improper movement here not only can, but will generate improper and often disastrous results. The new drivers are flustered, coveting the victory so much that they end up stepping so deep on the gas that the car doesn't stand it and either spins or hits the barriers. This is a very common problem that plagues drivers and can be solved with 2 very simple steps. The first one is to keep calm and know that accelerating more in a corner won't make you go any faster. When we accelerate too much in the middle of a corner, one of 2 things happens. Either the car goes over the limit of its front tire's grip or the rear tire's grip. Either of them is bad enough, as they can cause under or oversteer, meaning the car will slide out mid-corner by the front or by the rear. None of the above is desirable, as the grip is what enables the car to catapult forward into the rest of the circuit. The second step is to control the throttle during the corner, stepping just enough to improve grip and never more than that. Gradually accelerating more and more as the steering wheel returns to the center position at the end of the corner. These are very common mistakes, which lead us to the third tip: minimize errors. This tip I learned after suffering a lot in rally games. There came a time when I knew the car I was driving so well that I was making mistake after mistake. This occurs when a driver begins to dominate a car and a track, or in the case of rally, a type of surface, and actually starts to flow with the car. Very quickly, he also starts to speed more and more, often doing amazing things with a car that has never been seen before. But everything has its price, and as the speed increases, so does the crashing. An example of this is the famous rally driver Colin McRae, who seemed to perform miracles with his racing cars, leaving everyone else behind. As Colin was improving his skills and advancing his career, it was increasingly common to see him standing by the roadside with his car crashed, changing a tire or trying to smash back a body panel without much success. it was becoming less and less common to see him complete a race. All of this shows that we are often so focused on improving a sector or taking a few tenths off that corner that we completely forget of the race as a whole, where each mistake costs us a lot more time than we can recover by risking each sector. Too many times our mistakes cost seconds, and every second we lose in serious races are positions that are being lost. On that note, we move on to our fourth tip: take all opportunities. After talking about mistakes that should be avoided, it is important to say that one should not sacrifice performance for safety in a race, as no other driver in the track would be doing so. Therefore, enjoying the full width of the track is a crucial step in getting those sweet tenths we love so much. So the most important step of this tip is to watch for the curbs. Curbs are the outer parts of the track that are usually painted with alternating red and white stripes forming a zebra pattern. These are usually installed on tracks by the inside part of corners or apexes, as well as in the turn's entry and exit areas, over which the car could drive and would not be an asphalt part, which is bad for grip and could cause accidents if there was no curb. Their observance is important, as there are some that are completely flat and others that have a sawtooth surface. The flatter ones are a good area to carry speed with the car, as it's like an extension of the track. Just notice that they can become smooth and surprise the driver because of this lack of grip. Rough curbs, on the other hand, should not be used on purpose as lane extensions, as they cause instability and a lot less grip in any situation. Therefore, before entering the corner, it is generally good to take the car to the opposite side of the turn, as to take the corner at as small an angle as possible, cutting into it, exiting it, taking the car to the opposite side again. Curbs may be used for this purpose, provided that care is taken not to slip at accelerations. And if you do slip, you still have the bonus tip: don't stress and remember to live alike. In the end, what matters is having fun. It's no use doing anything without enjoying it. And even more, if you're getting stressed out, you're doing it wrong. Of course, if your stress is only part of a few moments, which are followed by joy and satisfaction, it's okay. However, do it again and again, gain nothing in return, and it doesn't make much sense. The goal is to always improve, but when you're tensed up, you can't focus precisely on flowing through the track, which is the only goal. And always, if you are stressing, watch a bit of Racing Legends to relax or learn, and keep improving to increasingly be a racing legend.